Aren't you Maria?
I'm not your Mary.
So you are Maria.
I am. If you want me to be.
How do you know about Mary?
You see it too? For me, it's always like this.
So a brand new trailer and over 20 minutes of gameplay footage dropped recently, and I have to say, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the hype. That release date can't come quick enough. I will say that there's still some questions left to answer that the new footage doesn't address, primarily because it fades in and out of sections of the game and it isn't just seamless gameplay. But from what various publications are saying, Bloober Team seem to be delivering better than expected. And yes, we actually got to see Eddie.
Get in.
I'll admit I wasn't expecting to see him. I did say in the last video that they probably dropped his character for being fat-phobic or something, so it's quite surprising, but it also alleviates some worries to see him. And it's actually really quite interesting the look they've developed for him. I do think they could tweak his model in just one subtle way. If you remember how in the original game they purposely shifted one of his pupils away from the subject he was looking at, and this just instantly makes the character look more off-putting. It also makes you question why the character looks strange but you can't quite put your finger on it. So it would be a good idea if at first when he's introduced his eyes look fine, and then when he descends further into madness later in the game his eye drifts more. They've also gone for these really distinctive blue eyes this time, so it only makes his eyes more noticeable. As for his acting goes, I think his little laugh sounds a bit lazy and forced, but his voice itself actually suits the character quite well. Akira Yamaoka seems to be doing a great job of bringing a fresh take on the soundtrack. It was always going to be extremely difficult to beat the original soundtrack because we all know and we all love it so well. I do really like how they've went with a new version of Promise for the trailer. Really hits with that nostalgia. I think the opening music with James's monologue also sounds really good. Not quite as good as the original, however, but close behind. I just think the chord shifts work more in line with the dialogue in the original, but it does sound a bit more gentle than the original, which I do actually like. Another thing I've been wondering is if we can walk around the toilet area at the beginning, because it just looks like it automatically jumps to the cutscene of James walking out. The more I look over this scene, the more I pick up on things I'm not happy about. Like, where's the opening of him having his way with a lion figure? Hopefully it's just because this is promotional material and they're not wanting to scar anybody who isn't already familiar with the original game. I think his animation's slightly janky, and that same keyframe pop that I was talking about in the last video is evident here, especially where the sirens blare and he pops into position to walk towards a door. I think they need to polish this up a bit. I love the little touches of the trees moving in the breeze, and also flags and various litter and debris. It really makes the environment seem more alive and dynamic. I do really like how they've added more to explore. It just adds a lot more to the gameplay, but will also extend the playtime for the better. Reportedly it'll take players 16 to 18 hours on average to complete. They've also apparently included all the endings too, which is great to hear. Now let's talk about the Maria prison scene.
James? Honey? Did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful.
It's definitely different to the original.
Remember that time in the
I do
hotel?
just think that "I'm not your Mary" line needs to be said in a snarkier way.
I'm not your Mary.
It could also do with adding darker shadows over her eyes, just as they've rectified with the James in the mirror scene at the start.
Doesn't matter who I am.
But on the whole, it's graphically very impressive. and I'm definitely
here for
excited
your
to immerse
dreams.
myself in Silent Hill again. It's been too long since we've had a
See?
Silent Hill game, and even longer since we've had a really good one. I
I'm
really
real.
hope this is the game to change the fortunes of the series and make us fans happy. See you in the next video, folks.